Skin cancer is one of the most common cancers to spread worldwide and is shown to have increased rates over the last several decades. The two variations are non-melanoma skin cancer and melanoma, where the latter, being the most dangerous of the two, occur in the skin cells and, if left untreated, can spread to various parts of the body. However, the former, which is not as life-threatening, occurs in the epidermis, which is the top layer of the skin. It has been reported that approximately 1/3 of Australians have skin cancer, making it the most common type of cancer in Australia. The main areas that can be affected by skin cancer would be the parts of the body that are frequently exposed to the sun, and in most cases, this would be the head, the neck, and the arms region. Skin cancer has no way of spreading from person to person, as it is not a contagious disease, but rather affects a person individually, depending on their time spent in the sun, with lack of proper protection. Generally in Australia, aquatic activities are popular, so with 3 million swimmers nationwide, the lack of sun's protection would allow exposure to ultraviolet radiation, which is one of the main factors regarding skin cancer, as it damages DNA in cells. Due to this, the affected melanoma cells can then spread from the primary tumor through the bloodstream and lymphatic system to form new tumors. This would lead to a more aggressive and incurable form of cancer. This in turn is dangerous for the individual, as the cancer has shifted from its initial area of affection and can now travel via bloodstream to settle and grow to other areas of the body, leading to the formation of new tumors. Other factors that can increase the risk of an individual getting affected by skin cancer would include frequent sunburns and tanning, whether it's by directly laying in the sun or using tanning beds, which individuals directly let the UV rays penetrate their skin for a darker look. Children between the ages of 10 to 18 tend to be affected by skin cancer, as they are a vast majority of the population who tend to be out in the open with the sun and ultraviolet radiation exposure. Although when compared to adults, children are at a very low risk of UV-related skin diseases. This, however, does not mean that they will never get skin cancer or the side effects that come with it. If a child lacks basic sun protection, such as sunscreen and hats, they are automatically exposed to the high levels of UV rays that surrounds everyone daily. The signs of overexposure to UV would then be seen in their later years as a teenager or even as a preteen, which would include premature mild skin wrinkling, freckling, and development of melanocytic nevi, also known as moles. The treatments for skin cancer include cryotherapy, chemotherapy, immunotherapy, and radiation. Some of the main ways to prevent an individual from getting skin cancer would be to stay in a shaded area when outside and to use sunscreen that has a high SPF, which would stand for the sun protection factor. The higher the SPF factor in the sunscreen, the more likely the individual's skin will be protected from the ultraviolet radiation. Other ways would be to use materials such as glasses, hats, and even towels to cover and shade the exposed skin from the sun and the UV rays that it emits.
Ottawa Charter. The Ottawa Charter is a framework developed by World Health Organization in 1986, emphasizing on the 5 key action areas to promote health and prevent diseases. Number 1. Building healthy public policies. Implementing policies that support sun safety and reduce the risk of skin cancer. For instance, governments can implement regulations requiring the provision of sunscreen in public spaces, like parks or beaches, or establishing sun-safe practices in school and workplaces, such as the no hat, no play rule. 2. Creating supportive environments. Creating environments that facilitate sun protection. This could be providing shaded areas in parks, school, or outside workplaces, and encouraging the use of outdoor clothing. 3. Strengthening community action. Communities that can work together to promote sun safety and reduce the risk of skin cancer. This could be through community campaigns or organizing events as a community to raise awareness about the risk of excessive sun exposure. 4. Developing personal skills. Focuses on empowering individuals with the knowledge and skills to protect themselves. This could be through educational campaigns to teach people about the dangers of UV radiation, or how to apply sunscreen correctly or when to apply it, and the importance of regular skin checkups and early detection. 5. Reorientating health services. Health services can prevent skin cancer by emphasizing early detection and intervention. This may involve providing regular screening for individuals at a higher risk or educating healthcare providers about skincare prevention.
For these slides, we delve into the remarkable journey of SunSmart School and their role in reducing skin cancer risk among students. The National SunSmart School program, launched in 1994 and adopted nationally by 2008, is now a vital part of our education landscape. It was followed by the National SunSmart Early Childhood Program in 1996, making its way into all Australian states and territories by 2009. The aim of SunSmart program. This program aimed to minimize UV radiation exposure, ultimately reducing the lifetime risk of skin cancer among students. School and childcare services across the nation are invited to become SunSmart members. In Victoria, 90% of primary schools participate in the SunSmart program, surpassing all other states. 89% of these schools have written sun protection policy and 85% incorporate sun protection into their curriculum at all levels. What makes a SunSmart school? SunSmart School recognizes the peak UV hours in the middle of the day. To be a part of this program, schools need to meet specific criteria. Students wear sun protective hats year-round or when UV levels exceed 3. Sunscreen is readily available and encourages. Outdoor events are rescheduled to avoid peak UV times. Sun protection is promoted through role modeling and classroom activities. And the school uniform includes sun protective items. For these slides, we are talking about the 5 SunSmart steps, which are slip, slop, slap, seek, and slide. Slip on sun protective clothing, slop on SPF 30 plus sunscreen, slap on a broad brim hat, seek shade whenever possible, and slide on sunglasses, ensuring they meet the Australian standard, according to Australian New Zealand 1067. For these programs, their goals are to maintain a healthy UV exposure balance for children and staff, and encourage sun protection during daily high UV times from September to April, and relax sun protection measures from May to August when UV levels are mostly below 3. Create safe outdoor environments with adequate shades. And lastly, empower children to take responsibility for their sun protections.
Arrow's Skin Cancer Prevention Campaign is another campaign that we will be looking into today. The campaign aims to increase sun protection among young people to reduce the risk of developing skin cancer. The campaign was launched from November 2022 to March 2023 on popular social media apps such as Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, while also displaying on YouTube and at the cinemas during the ads. The Cancer Institute of New South Wales delivered the 2022-2023 ARROS campaign using a combination of hard-hitting and supportive ads that warn young people about the dangers of UV radiation. The campaign also included ads that provide education of how, when, and where to protect their skin. The ARROS campaign was made to encourage young people to make life-changing and life-saving behaviour part of their daily routine, as overexposure to UV radiation has caused approximately 95% of skin cancers in Australia. There is substantial evidence, however, that supports the positive impacts of the skin cancer prevention campaigns, including ARRO's campaign. A study conducted in 2016 by the Cancer Institute of New South Wales between 2006 and 2013 found that there was an estimated 13,000 fewer skin cancers and 112 averted deaths. The Dark Side of Tanning campaign was another campaign that we focused on in this assignment. The campaign was aimed to address pro-tanning attitudes, understand the severity of melanoma, and acknowledge the link between overexposure to UV radiation and melanoma. The advertisement shows a series of different tanner moments focusing on different settings, such as a girl tanning at the beach. The ads challenge the misconception that a tan looks healthy and illustrates how overexposure to UV rays can damage skin cells before showing any signs of burning, which shows how a melanoma at only 1 millimeter deep can spread rapidly throughout the body. The Sun Smart program implemented the Dark Side of Tanning campaigns throughout Victoria during the summers of 2009 to 2010, and with further funding, the campaign was repeated every summer from 2010 to 2015. The campaign was successful as it reported behavioural changes with the target audience, with young people reporting that they were less likely to get a tan after watching the ads and were more likely to increase their level of sun protection. So overall, the campaign has contributed to the understanding that a tan is not healthy.